All right, we are one sleep away before the playoff journey starts for the Chiefs and the divisional round for the NFL. One of the best days in the best weekends in sports coming up. This is the Daily Fix with your guy, Ron Hughley. We do this every day, 12 noon Central Standard Time, right there in that little itty bitty box where he rightfully belongs. Is the very effervescent Steven Serta. Say hello to the people. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Looking good, feeling good. And it's a good time out here, and we're having a good time. We're gonna have a good time on the Daily Fix like we do every day. Please tell a friend or 12. One thing I do need you to do is, if you have not done so, and if you're being stubborn, go do it now. Damn it! Head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media. Like and subscribe, and you can get all kinds of content. Show and PK dropped today, every Friday. Veach season drops every week. Brian's World drops every week. The post game coming up with Rocky and Serta. And guess what? Got a little extra. It's the playoffs, the divisional round. There'll be a pregame show as well coming up to get you ready tomorrow, right here on Foolish Club Media. It'll be live. What time will that be? What time will that post game show be?
1 p.m. Central.
1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Central. Jump on, hang out, and we'll get you ready right here on Foolish Club Media. But like and subscribe. Remember, if you do not do so, you are preventing my 3 children from eating. All right, not going to hold you long as usual. Game of the weekend we got to get to, and this one hopefully will affect the Kansas City Chiefs. And we're sitting back Sunday watching this game and seeing who will be the next opponent for the Chiefs. That's if the Chiefs can take care of business on Saturday. But we got to get into that game. Also, the decision. The biggest decision, and really the only decision that is really talked about in this game for the Chiefs. We will get to that one last time. But I want to start here, Steve. Give me my 2 minutes. Listen, we've been talking about this game all week. Chiefs Texans coming up tomorrow, 3:30 Central Time. And we've been looking at this thing, and we understand what this is for the Chiefs. We understand. They understand. They've talked about it this week. They are in a quest of history. They are looking, Serta, to become the all-time best dynasty in the history of the sport. No team, as you know, has won 3 straight Super Bowls. And they would have won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. The best dynasty. Tom hadn't done it. Montana hadn't done it. Bradshaw didn't do it. None of the greats have done it. None of the great teams have done it. The Steelers in the 70s, the Packers in the 60s, the Niners in the 80s, the Cowboys, no great team. The Patriots have done this. The Chiefs are in a quest of history, and obviously that has to start here. And I'm going to say this right now. Serta, people listening, I can completely see a situation in which that dream and that quest comes to an end without a championship. I can see a situation where there's not a parade. I can see a situation for the first time in 2 years, Reed and Mahomes aren't hoisting the championship trophy, and we're not getting, you gotta fight for your right to party from Travis. I can see it. Steve, I just can't see the Houston Texans being the team to stop it. It's not an impossible thing at all or any of that. It is hard for me to even imagine that this would be the team in Arrowhead at home, injuries all over the place for the Texans, major guys, major weapons out, injuries to the current weapons that they have out there. They're a good football team. They do some things well. In fact, they do some things, as we've discussed this week, that are things that have given the Chiefs trouble. Steve, I just can't see that this team is the team that stops it. Now, you want to tell me Lamar or Josh, the Bills and the Ravens, the Lions, the Eagles, I can hear all of that. it's hard for me to see that it's the Houston Texans.
And I feel like we do this every year in the playoffs when the best teams are on bye and wild card weekend, and then a team like the Texans overperforms in the opening round of the playoffs. And it's like you forget about how good those other teams are that aren't playing, that have earned the right to have that bye in the first round. And so we overestimate because, oh, the Texans came in and they dominated the Chargers. And so now a lot of people are overestimating the entire regular season body of work of the Houston Texans. And that's not a discount to CJ Stroud's talent and to Nico Collins and to the talent of that defense and that pass rush and what they were able to do against the Chargers. But the Chiefs are simply in a different tier. Like, they are simply a much more talented team, especially with all of the Texans' injuries at wide receiver. So I'm not discrediting anything that the Texans have done this season, but the Chiefs are just simply a much better team, and it would take a catastrophic failure, in my opinion, for the Chiefs to collapse and lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know catastrophic. I just can't see that. It is hard for me to believe and envision the way that it ends with the Texans. Now, a way that sucker could end, or the way that this could be a problem or a difficult game for the Chiefs is the decision, Serta. And it's really the only question thing. I don't know. We don't know. You don't know. I'm not sure. I don't either. I really don't know who is going to play left tackle on the game on Saturday. Tomorrow, Serta, it could be 62 Joe Thuney run out there and play left tackle like he has been. By the way, that's 3 games he started against 3 really good pass rushing teams, and they only got 1 sack. Or they slide him back into left guard where he's an all-pro this year and last year, and they put DJ Humphries in, who has, I would say, played below average ball in the times we've seen him in the games against the Chargers and the Broncos. I don't know what they're going to do. That's the main decision. I'm not going to lie to you, Serta. I've heard people give their reasonings why, and I honestly, I feel like I'm stupid. I feel like I'm dumb because I honestly cannot see how anyone has an argument that this is even a discussion. I want to so bad believe this is just gamemanship that Andy Reid is playing with the Chiefs, but I don't. I wouldn't be surprised at the moment if DJ Humphries is starting with the amount of reps that he got in practice. I don't think you play around with reps like that going into the playoffs. But for me, I just don't understand it. There is no, and we've talked about this, and I have rethought about this. I have heard multiple people whose opinion I really trust, Serta, give reasonings of, hey, they want to do more than the short passing game. That this is what what they're going to do, and what's their changeup pitch to what this. I'm like, the hell, what? Like, it is night and day what this team and what Patrick Mahomes has looked like with Joe Thuney at left tackle. Now, I will agree that the running game seems to have suffered, but let's just be honest, they haven't had a 100-yard rusher since the Tampa game in early October. They've only got 2 in the season, Tampa and the Saints, right? The 50, 60, whatever. To me, the difference in the run game is not great enough to the difference in the passing game and the comfort of Patrick Mahomes. So this, I feel like I'm batshit crazy on this thing. This is an easy thing to me. Joe Thuney should be out there. The team has looked completely different. They played their best 2 offensive games the last 2 weeks with Joe Thuney, or the last 2 games he's played. Hell, to be honest with you, they put up 21 in the third and almost in less than in just over 2 quarters against the Browns. So this one, I cannot believe that it's even a conversation, certainly.
Well, and the playoffs just aren't the place to tinker. You got your tinkering done over the last 5-6 weeks of the season, and the best version of this thing was with Joe Thuney at left tackle. Now, yeah, you're sacrificing something in the running game, but it's not like the Chiefs offense is built around the running game the way the Ravens offense is, or the way the Texans desperately need Joe Mixon to perform, or the Eagles and Saquon Barkley. Like, the Chiefs offense just simply isn't built around the running game that way. Yes, you would like to have some explosive runs here and there, and you would like to make the defense have to pay attention to that. But this short passing attack, the quick traditional West Coast style offense is the best version of the Chiefs offense that we've seen all season. And so until a team does something that makes them drastically shift that, why would you want to do anything else? If this is what works, if 15 play scoring drives is what you can do, and it's how you can control the football game and put up points, then that's what the Chiefs need to be doing in the playoffs, not tinkering around with the offensive line to see if they can get some deep balls going because they've got Humphreys at left tackle and Tooney on the inside, or create some explosive runs. Just get it done. Just do what you have to do to win.
And I'll be honest with you, Will Anderson and Danico Autry and Danielle Hunter and Barnett, those probably aren't guys that you probably want to fool around and tinker with. Like maybe another group to tinker with and another time, but maybe not. I'm just basing it off what we've seen, Steve. There's no way to me that I feel comfortable enough to say that DJ Humphreys gives me a better chance to throw the ball down the field. Like, from what we've seen, I don't know that there's nothing that we've seen that shows that case, right? They threw a deep ball to Justin Watson against the Steelers. Looked pretty fine. Threw another deep ball that Justin Watson just missed against the Texans the week prior to that, right? Like, I don't know what DJ Humphreys has done to make people believe, yo, we can get more balls down the field. What has he shown you that he's done that over Joe Tooney? All right, we understand that Chiefs Texans game is one that we'll be looking at. We're paying a lot of attention to, but the game of the weekend, and if the Chiefs take care of business, the story after the weekend will be this Ravens-Bills game. And I'm looking at this thing, and we know coming out of it, somebody is going to be talked about in another failure. They didn't get it done again, or they're going to be talked about in a negative fashion, whoever loses this game. And it ain't just the Bills or the Ravens. Let's just be honest, Steve. It is Josh and Lamar. All right, whoever loses is going to be the one that's been talked about and all of this and that. And I look at this thing, Serta, I am convinced, Lamar, this is one you got to have, dog. This to me is one you got to have. Listen, I think Josh needs it too, and I think Josh will have hell through the offseason as well if they lose. But to me, Steve, I'm looking at this. I don't think that we have yet to see the best talent and best team that Josh Allen's going to play on. I don't think we've seen that yet. Even the Stephon Diggs years, whenever. I think these young receivers they have in about a year or two, Steve, they're going to be even better. They're going to be even better. And then they're also then going to have cap room at this point, where they've done this year of kind of cleaning that up. They're going to have more money to spend. They're going to have draft picks, and they have done pretty well in the draft. They've got some young cats over there that are going to get better, and they're going to be able to add stuff. I don't think Josh Allen has played on the best team and talent yet. I think Lamar Jackson the last 2 years, it's hard for me to see a place where he's going to have a better team around him than he has, especially this year with Derrick Henry still playing at an elite level. Like the parts around him, I think we see Andrews probably take a step back down the line. Likely is nice, but like I don't know to still have all of that around you. All of them, I mean, they've got. I know they got 9 Pro Bowlers. They've got to have every bit of 5 or 6 All-Pros as well. I just don't know with decisions that have to be made if he's going to have a better team around him. So to me, this is the best team he'll ever play on. Like I could believe that. And I think Josh has got better got better teams ahead of him. That's why I think Lamar's got to get this one.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like these last 2 years of the Ravens, they have been phenomenal, and their offense is incredible this season. But Todd Monken's getting a ton of head coaching looks, so they might
That
not be
too.
able to bring him back, and so that could change things for the Ravens next season. And you get older, and it's harder to be this good, even though the Ravens still have some young talent. But this was supposed to be like a reset year for the Bills in a lot of ways. And they've been elevated by Josh Allen playing at an MVP level, but they also have some young talent. Like Khalil Shakir is a nice player. Keon Coleman looks like as long as he can continue to improve, he could wind up being a really big player for them moving forward. And they didn't even have him for a lot of the season. The Bills' offensive line's also really, really good. And their defense, despite losing a bunch of people this offseason, continues to just truck along and overperform because they're really good at identifying guys who fit their system and who can come in and play that well. What the Bills desperately need and what they've struggled to do in the draft is find superstars. Like they need star players outside of Josh Allen because they don't have a ton of them. The Ravens have been great at that, and the Ravens are always one of the best teams at identifying those kinds of guys in the draft.
That's what I'm saying. Serta is, yes, I think, but some of the guys I think you named can potentially grow into Pro Bowl level players, right? And they're going to have money to help, especially that defense. They're going to have money to go out and get guys, like, and not just over the hill Von Miller. They're going to have money to be able to make their team better because they've kind of fixed it. I mean, right now, Josh is who they're paying. Like they're not paying a whole lot of people, and they got a lot of stuff off the books. So to me, Lamar, I just don't know how many better teams you're going to have in the prime of how they're playing right now than this year. And so I think you got to win. Hi, Mom and Courtney.